Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you how you can create a spinning effect like this in Microsoft Excel with the help of Visual Basic and how you can apply this to any shape in your spreadsheet. If you follow the link in the description for this video, you'll see a post with steps on how to do this and how to pull in the code to make this work. But I'll also go over the code in this video as well. So how this works is the first thing we want to do is select a shape that we want to actually rotate. It doesn't have to be a circle or any kind of wheel. As long as it's a shape, this macro is going to work. All it's doing is effectively doing a rotation. In this example, I've selected this item. You can see it's rotated already. And the important thing to note is what this shape is referred to. Here we've got the name says wheel 1. So this is what we want to reference in the macro to make sure that it's spinning the right item. And here I've linked a button to this macro, and linking a button is fairly straightforward, just right-clicking and then assigning a macro to it. But I'm going to show you how the actual macro works. So over on the right-hand side here, I've got this macro called spin effect. And it's referencing this wheel object that I've set up. So active sheet dot shapes, and this is where that name comes into play. It says wheel 1. So it's referencing this specific wheel, that particular shape. And then what it's doing is doing a series of loops. So first I have it rotating by 5 degrees, then 3, then 2, and then 1. With the idea being that the spin is gradually going to get slower. So at this very last loop, it's going 500 times, rotating by just 1 degree at a time. So that you don't have this really fast spinning effect and then all of a sudden stopping. You can have this gradual effect. So you can play around with this by changing the number of degrees, perhaps how big the loop is. So this is 100 times, 100 times, 100 times. And this last one is 500. This do events, a keyword, is really important because that's the key that tells Excel to do these actions so that it's just not going through these loops and you're not seeing the effect of them. So by putting that in there, it's forcing that rotation to happen right before your eyes. So you're actually seeing that spin effect. And that's really what is key to making this work, because we've got this increment rotation keyword, and that's rotating your image. So regardless whether it's a circle or not, it can rotate anything. So it's not a terribly complex macro. It's just got multiple loops in here. And step 1 means how many steps it's moving at a time. So 1 to 100 is jumping 1 at a time. So you can adjust these however you want. The key things I would suggest is either changing these values here, the 100 or the 500, to see how long you want that cycle to go through. And then this rotation, how big those rotations you want them to be. But by setting this up, you can easily apply a spin effect. And as you can see, it's really easy to make it work with any sort of image. Now I've selected the object so you see the rotation happening. The main downfall of this, however, is that let's say you've had multiple slices here and you want to know which one it actually landed on. This can be a little bit tricky because there's not a specific way to say, we landed on orange or blue or yellow, whatever the case may be. So for that reason, I also created another spreadsheet that does the spinning effect in a slightly different way. With this macro, this one works slightly differently in the sense that I'm not applying the rotation through the macro. I've actually already done the rotation here because I've got different images of this wheel already. I've just rotated them slightly. Instead, what I'm doing here with this macro is changing the visibility. So I'm going to show you what I mean here. So I'm going to go into my code here. And so on this sheet, what I'm doing is I've actually got 10 different wheels set up here, rotated differently. And I'm taking turns making them invisible and visible. The reason being, I want to create the effect of a rotation without actually rotating the object. And so at the very beginning, I'm applying a random number calculation to determine what my winning number is. And based on that, that's the value that's going to be displayed at the end. And what it's doing is it's still going through a loop, except this time it's changing the visibility. It's not doing a rotation anymore. Now I also had to add some extra code at the top just to be able to make the delays in milliseconds, because if I made the delays too long in seconds, then the wheel's not going to look like it's spinning. So that's the key thing here, is I've got 10 different wheels on here, rotated slightly differently, and then I'm just changing the visibility. So I'm making one visible, then the next one visible, and so on and so forth. And then ultimately, it's going to look like it's landing on a specific wheel. But then at the very end, I'm able to figure out, what it actually landed on, which wheel it stopped at. So if you had these different colors, now your macro is going to work. So I'm going to show you how this particular one works. So if I click the spin button, it's going to do the same sort of effect. It looks like it's spinning, right? But it's actually not rotating. It's just modifying which wheel is visible. So it's going to stop in a second. I'm going to show you how we can adjust this so that, or how you can set this up to make this work in the exact same way. So here we've got our message saying the wheel stopped on wheel 7. So I'm going to click OK. So now at least we know what the answer was, what value it landed on. And so the key to making this work is I've got multiple images on here. So right now, this is the only one that's visible, but I've got other ones on here as well. If I go to the page layout tab and click on the selection pane, you'll see I've got all these different wheels. So I'm going to unhide them just to make them all visible. And so the key to making this work, as you can see, they're all rotated slightly. So what I've done is put one on top of the other. And so adjusting it so it's in the exact same place, but what I'm doing here is now I'm manually rotating each one of these pieces. So as you can see, a bit of an overview as to make sure that these are lining up exactly, or more or less roughly where they should be based on how you want them to rotate. So it can be a bit of a tedious process to set it up this way because you're working on the angle and making sure everything lines up. But then when you do so, you can just play with that visibility and alternate which ones are going to be visible versus which ones are not, creating that spin effect without actually doing a rotation. And this way, you'll at least be able to know what value it's landed on and what the correct result is. Whereas with the other template, it was simpler, but that spin effect, we don't really have a way to easily determine what that winning value is or what it landed on. With this macro, you can do that and assign that message to say, okay, this was the winning value, this is what it landed on, and drive that to fill in values on your spreadsheet. But obviously it's a bit more complex to set up. But I'll share the code for both of these macros in the link for this video. So check that out if you want to follow along and copy the code and test it out yourself. So I hope you found this useful, and let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and please be sure to subscribe.